Next to skate.
They are on the ice, the Olympic and world champions, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir of Canada. This, the Four Continents Championships, their first international competition, their first major competition of the season. And they have the lead after the short dance.
And they will skate to a Latin medley. This program has been getting rave reviews from the onlookers here in Taipei. Opening with the twizzles, and what a unique entry in a circular motion. Oh, slight miscue there. Tessa coming out of hers a little early. It's the hardest thing for competitors. You can be ready in practice, but it takes a while to just get that competition readiness to a program.
She had the surgery on her legs in October to relieve the stress of compartmental syndrome, very painful injury.
Goodness.
Well, she's just skating away from Scott Moir. Music stops.
What just happened?
Well, and he pushes away from the boards, doesn't appear to be happy, along with coaches Igor Spielman and Marina Zueva. It's my fault, she almost whispered there. And Scott Moir goes over to the boards to talk to the referee here in Taipei. And considering whether or not they can continue, whether she can continue here at Four Continents.
Please no. Please go back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll stand in front of it. Thank you.
Dr. Bob Brock in the background looking over the shoulder of the coaches. Team physician for Canada.
And what's happening now, Tracy? They're making a decision as to whether or not she can go on?
That's what it looks like. You have a couple of minutes grace to pick it up. Wow, this is stunning, Scott.
Yeah,
I have
really
never seen this. And it's hard to tell what's wrong. Nothing seems to be being favored, but watch the lift here. And this is right before Tessa stopped, swinging the legs over. A lot of centrifugal force in this lift. And you wonder, did she feel a back muscle go? Or, I mean, you can't tell. It doesn't look like she's favoring anything. That's a really hard situation to read. I've not seen anything like this before.
Crowd patiently waiting now, and it appears now that Scott Moir is going to make a second trip to speak to the referee here at the arena. And he doesn't look happy about the news that he's going to deliver, and he calls it a day. So Virtue Moir, the Olympic and world champions in their comeback bid this season at Four Continents, are going to withdraw. And I got to tell you, Tracy, we didn't see that coming. A very dramatic turn of events.
Wow. I have no idea how to read this situation.
Well, we're having technical difficulties. Obviously, that routine by Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir occurred yesterday in Taiwan at Taipei Arena, and they've just pulled out of the competition. We're endeavoring to get our tape machines fixed here at CBC Sports Weekend, but you have seen what occurred in Taipei. Virtue and Moir in their first major international competition of the season, following the surgery to Tessa Virtue in October, competing in Taipei at Four Continents, had the lead after the short dance, and then about 45 seconds to a minute into their program, they pull up, and Tessa Virtue favoring her quad muscle in her left leg. They took some time to make the decision at the boards, and then Scott Moir went over to the referee, made the decision, and decided to pull out of the competition. Now, this does not mean that Virtue and Moir will not appear at the World Championships in Tokyo in March. We are going to speak to them in Taipei in a few moments' time, but let's take a look at the results of the dance competition from Four Continents. With the withdrawal of Virtue and Moir, the championship goes to Merrill Davis and Charlie White, the Olympic silver medalists of the United States. The Shibutanis, their younger teammates, also of USA, take the silver medal, and Vanessa Crone and Paul Poirier of Canada wind up with the bronze medal. We'll return with more on this story from Sports Weekend in just a moment. And so Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir withdraw from the Four Continents Figure Skating Championships in Taiwan. We reached them both in Taipei City. Tessa, you complained of tightness in your left quad. To the best of your knowledge, is this just a bump in the road, or is it a major roadblock?
Well, I think, Scott, it's just a bump in the road. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that I felt a little bit at home before we came here to Taipei City, and it was lingering pain through practices here, and really spasmed up on me during the skate here tonight for the free dance. And we're extremely disappointed, but we're happy with the progress we've made with the programs. We practiced really well here this week, and we've already gotten some good feedback from the judges. So we're pleased, and I think we're right on track for Worlds, and we just have to stay positive. And, we have a good 5 weeks to train until Tokyo.
Scott, just over a month to go until the World Championships. Given this latest development, what is the focus of training now, and when will you make a firm decision on whether or not you're going to the World Championships at all?
Well, we've made that definitive choice already. We know we're going to be there. We just have a couple things, couple loose ends we have to tie up, and the training is right there. We're right on the, I guess the edge of greatness, and we're just going to get there. It's a very demanding program, and like I said, it's different than anything we've ever done. So we'll definitely be there in Tokyo, and we'll be competing for a World Championship. And I think that we still have the best stuff in the world, and we still think that we're the best ice dancers in the world. So we're going to go for it, and for sure we think that it's a very achievable goal.
Tessa and Scott, thanks for doing this, and all the best of luck.
Every minute of every day, evil forces threaten our freedom, our safety, our way of life, and only one